Hello, everybody. My name is Ricardo Cabrera, and I am the Operations Manager for the Latino Chamber of Commerce of Boulder County. And today we are talking, and we have as a guest, Jennifer Garcia, which works for the Latino Business Action Network. She's the Director of Programs and Communications there. So good morning. Welcome, Jennifer. Would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Ricardo, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Yes, my name is Jennifer Garcia. I'm originally from Mora, New Mexico. It's a small rural community in the northern central part of the state. I grew up in a very entrepreneurial family. Just growing up, I recall gathering firewood, gathering rocks, digging trees with my dad. And what we do is we'd park on the side of the street and sell. And that's how my dad made a living. His business today has evolved a little bit, but those were my memories growing up in my family. And that story, that segment of my dad's entrepreneurial journey did two things for me. First, it drove me straight to corporate America. And secondly, it also planted a seed and a desire to help businesses grow and succeed. So a little bit about my background. I spent 12 years in corporate America with a large global fintech company, Bloomberg. I did everything from sales to customer service, product development, product support, management, etc. But what happened, Ricardo, over time is I learned that my passion was developing leaders and developing people, because I recognized that we could transform organizations with people. And so a few years ago, I reconnected with that seed that was planted during my childhood. And today I work with an organization, LBAN, which stands for Latino Business Action Network. We are a nonprofit organization that collaborates with Stanford University. And we do a couple different things. We focus on research, and we focus on Latino business owners and helping them scale.
Excellent. Wow, that's a great story, by the way. Thank you for sharing. And so tell me a little bit about LBAN. It's a national organization. You guys are out of California, and you work specifically with individuals. You have a program called the Stanford Latino Entrepreneurship Initiative. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that and how it's work, and we'll start with that.
Absolutely. So let me elaborate on our collaboration. So I mentioned that LBAN collaborates with Stanford. That collaboration produces two things. One, it produces a research arm, and it produces an education scaling arm. So on the research side, what we do is we have researchers out of Stanford that survey Latino businesses on an annual basis, and they want to understand the factors that are contributing to your growth, factors that are impeding growth, and then they produce a report and they try to get that data into the hands of policymakers that are going to be able to shape policy that's conducive to the growth of Latino business owners. That's the research side. The second side is the education scaling side. And this is where we work directly with Latino business owners. And what we do is we've designed it's an 8-week intensive education scaling program. It's all online. It's a virtual program where entrepreneurs are really challenged to think about growth. We really focus on the mindset and the way that they pursue growth, the way they think about growth, the way they define growth. And what we do is we equip them with the business principles that will help them grow and scale. So that could include everything from innovation. It could include networking and providing entrepreneurs with a mentor. One of the huge topics we talk about is capital, because we know that access to capital is a factor in growing. We do, there's curriculum. The program itself is you're going back to school for 8 weeks. So you'll be reading, writing, collaborating, and most importantly, applying these business principles to your own business.
Wow, that sounds like a great program. That sounds awesome. So Jennifer, tell me, how do you join? I mean, is it an application? Do you have to qualify? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes. The program happens twice a year. It happens once in the spring and in the fall. So our spring program will start in May. We are already accepting applications. And then the fall program will begin in an October timeframe. So applications can be accessed on our website, which is www.lban.us. So LBAN.us. Here are the criteria or the qualifications that we look for entrepreneurs in the program. One, you have to be a Latino-owned business, majority-owned business. And what that means is you have to have 51% or more owned by a Latino. You also have to be headquartered here in the United States or Puerto Rico. And thirdly, your business has to have $1 million in annual revenue or 500,000 in external funding, professional funding. So what that means is your revenue from 2009, so if you were applying for next May, your 2020 revenue has to be at least $1 million or 500,000 in external funding, meaning you have investors, you have a bank funding you for that 500,000 amount.
Nice. And so is this a lottery, or do you have to, is this is there a fee involved in this with this program?
Yes, wonderful question. It is not a lottery. It is an application. It's a first come, first serve. So I highly encourage any business owner that is interested in the program. It seems like we're only in November and we're talking about May, but our class does fill up rather quickly. So I encourage them to apply as soon as possible. We review applications as we receive them. The value of this program, it's an 8-week program out of Stanford, which is amazing, right? You are getting education curriculum designed and taught by Stanford professors. The value of this 8-week program is over $11,000. We, LBAN, we do not want finances. We do not want the cost of this to be a hindrance for any business owner. So what we do is we go out and fundraise for this, and we subsidize the cost of this program. So the cost to a Latino entrepreneur is about $1,500. That's an incredible bargain, $1,500 for a certificate program out of Stanford University. We really try to do everything we can so that, the cost of this is not a factor to you succeeding and growing.
Wow, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. So what if you don't qualify? Is there an option for you for that company?
Yes. Another great question, right? Because I hear this over and over again. They're like, Jennifer, I'm not quite at that $1 million mark, or, I'm a few hundred short, or I'm very small, I'm getting started. What should I do? The first thing I would tell you is keep your eye on the prize, right? Because you can grow. You might be starting off, you might be at 500,000 or 800,000, or you might just be year one in business. Keep your eye on your prize. You can grow. I want to just share this stat that Latino businesses start businesses faster than any other demographic. So in the last 10 years, Latino businesses started new businesses at the rate of 34%. In comparison to non-Latino, which they started businesses at 1%. So
Wow.
That tells me we are innovative. That tells me that the Latino community is innovative or hardworking. And we we have that entrepreneurial bug in us. Let me share this other stat. It also says that our research says that only 3% of Latino business owners ever reach that $1 million mark. So that says, if we interpret that says we start businesses quickly, but we also stay small. I want to encourage you that there's programs out there, there are people out there, and that you can do it. You can grow. We want you to grow. That's what we do, is work with Latino business owners. So to answer your question, Ricardo, if you do not qualify, I would say reach out to me anyway. Talk to me anyway. I play a dual role in where I help businesses that do not meet the criteria to get ready to grow, to get ready to scale so that they can qualify for the next round. And when you think about what you need to do to get ready, growth usually comes in 3 different categories. It comes in profit, your profit design, how you're making money, what are your margins, what are your expenditures. It comes in people, right? Do you have the right people on your team? Are they doing the right thing? Are you hiring correctly, etc.? Are you developing them? And then it comes in processes. Do you have the right process in place? Are you maximizing efficiency, productivity? Are you leveraging technology so that, to the best of its ability that can serve your business? And so, talk to me either way, whether you qualify or you don't qualify. I'll leave my contact information in the description of this video.
Yes.
But I really encourage you to keep your eye on the prize. Don't be discouraged if you're not at that $1 million mark. Growth is attainable with the right, with the right guidance and the right plan laid out in front of you. You can get to your next milestone.
Excellent. So just for the record, how can we get a hold of you? So you gave a website earlier. Do you have an email or a phone number where they can reach you directly?
Yes. Jennifer at LBAN.us. So that's Jennifer with 2 N's, JENNIFER at LBAN.us, LBAN.
Excellent. So I am going to put all this information down here. Sorry. And so people can find it there anyway. So go ahead, finish up.
And I would just add the phone number if you want to reach me, 650-787-0899.
Excellent. Cool. So, one of the things you said is really interesting, the fact that Hispanics and Latinos are entrepreneurs, and it is in our DNA. And I don't know if it's from where we come from or how we grow up, or like this great example and story that you shared at the beginning of the video that you learned by example. And yes, you're right. Entrepreneurship is in our DNA. And that's one of the great qualities that the Hispanic and Latino population has. So Jennifer, thank you for all this great information and for sharing. I have one last surprise question for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I like surprises.
Yeah. All right. So what is your favorite word?
What is my favorite word? Well, I'm gonna have to go back to what I live in every day. I am a mother of 3 kids, young kids, and I am constantly teaching compassion. I'm constantly telling them, you want to display, you want to communicate what you want to receive, right? And this obviously is in the context of my children interacting with each other, but I think it's applicable in all assets and all facets of our life, right? Even as business owners, you want to be the business, you want to be the business leader that leads with integrity. However you want to be, what you want to receive is what you want to display. So I'm going to go and call that one compassion, Ricardo.
Beautiful. Excellent. Thank you so much. And well, again, thank you for sharing, and until next time.
Thank you. Nice speaking with you.